This video was made possible by EA Game Changers.
Whoa! Oh! Ow!
Hi guys, it's SimLicy here, so welcome to another speed build. So today I am building a very tiny little house with the Sims 4 Tiny Living, which is the brand new stuff pack coming to the Sims 4 very soon. Thank you so much to EA for giving me an early access copy so I can share this with you guys a little bit early. So as you can see here, I do have the panel opened where you can see the lot requirements. There are 3 different tiers when it comes to building tiny homes. There is tier 1, which is very small, I believe under 32 tiles. If I remember correctly, you guys can probably see it. It's just a little bit small for me to see on my screen. And I wanted to keep this house in tier 2, which is under 64, and then the top tier, which is tier 3, is under 100 tiles. And I have built all 3 of them. I built a tier 1 house, a tier 2 house, a tier 3. This is just the first one that I happened to build. So yeah, it's the first one that I'm sharing with you guys, and I hope you guys do like it. It's a kind of open concept house. It doesn't really have a bedroom. I decided to use the Murphy bed in the living room as the bed for the house, and it actually worked out really well. There was plenty of space to be able to put the bed down. As you probably saw in the beginning clip, my sim did get smashed by the bed, which was really funny. I was so happy to be able to catch that on video, and I just thought it was like just a really funny interaction, and I just loved it so much, and so I've been pretty obsessed with it. And yeah, my sim didn't die. I mean, she was completely fine, but I've heard that a lot of people did get a little bit more unfortunate, I guess, with the Murphy bed. But I think it's such a cool interaction. I love that there is the option to die from it, and I just think it's like just overall a really cool item to have in game, and it makes me just really excited to have a new sort of, what do you call it? Just a new item that we already have. I mean, we already have beds in the game, we already have couches in the game. It's just nice to see them done in a different way, and I really like it. But anyways, we are moving on to the interior because I wanted to make sure I could fit everything that I wanted to. For being a pretty small, tiny home, this house actually, yeah, I think it has plenty of room. I have a pretty good sized kitchen here. I do get a dining table, and I have the couch over here that is of course the bedroom as well. There's a TV, a bookcase. I thought the poof was a chair, so it's kind of next to a side table like it is a chair, but unfortunately the little square poof is actually a table, and I feel like that's kind of a shame. This is the poof that I'm talking about. I thought at this point, because this was before I even did my build and buy overview or my create a sim overview, I just went in and built this first just to see all of the items and get kind of a feel for them, and I assumed that that was a chair. I hope they update it to make it a chair. I like the version that's a table too. I think that's kind of cool because we don't have a table that's like it, but you know, I feel like it should be a chair too. But over here is a little study nook, so I get this one tile table with a laptop and some books and all that kind of stuff. And I didn't clutter up this build too much. I did add a few decorations, but since it's so small, I didn't want it to be too cluttery, but it still feels like full and lived in. But I am a little bit limited in this build because I decided to do this one with just Tiny Living and base game. So if you only have base game and you decide to buy Tiny Living, then you can get this build and nothing will be gone. That sounds a little bit weird. But yeah, everything should be there if you decide to download it and you have the base game and Tiny Living. Yeah, I love that table, by the way, the one that I used there in the kitchen. I love that it's bar height and that it's that round glass. It's super cool. Over here is the bathroom. This is a really good sized bathroom, I thought, and that wall hanging with the towel and like all of the decorations are so pretty. It's so cute. There's this swatch that has this really pretty like teal green color, and I mentioned this in my build and buy overview, and so many of you guys were telling me that it's blue, like a navy color, and maybe it's just me, but the swatch that I'm talking about, if you guys did see my build and buy overview, it's like a teal green, like a really rich green color. It's very pretty. I'm obsessed. But anyways, that was it for the bathroom. Here I'm just adding a painting in the kitchen. And then I do add an art easel here next to the desk. So it is kind of like a proper study nook, skill building area for your Sims to do those kinds of activities. And I'm just hanging up some curtains, and I think this is basically it for the interior. It's very simple, not too cluttery like I mentioned, but I really love it. I love the colors. I love the oranges and the blues. Like the color palette to this pack, I am completely obsessed with. I especially really like the light purples and the like kind of orangey red colors. Very, very pretty, and I didn't really use that color scheme in this build. I used more of like the creams with the teals. I think the bed is purple, but I didn't really realize that when placing the couch because you can't see the color of the bed. But I'm sure I'll get more used to which swatches are which once I use these items a little bit more. But yeah, once I went and did my build and buy overview and saw like how there were so many of these light purple colors with the oranges and like the peaches, I'm obsessed. But anyways, moving on to the backyard, I did fit a swimming pool back here. This is on a 30 by 20 lot, and so since the house is so small, there is a lot of outdoor space, and so I put a couple of lounge chairs. I did some landscaping. There's the swimming pool. There's a barbecue back here, an outdoor dining table, some planter boxes, and I even put a car in the driveway, which I thought was pretty cute. And I actually really liked the landscaping on this build. It felt very like lush, and I don't know, it suits Oasis Springs to me, so I was really happy with it. And I also really liked the shape of the pool. I don't think I've really done this before. I wanted to give it sort of a round appearance. This is something I would really like to see come to the game, is rounded swimming pools. Of course, I would like rounded walls, but I think I want rounded swimming pools more than I want rounded walls. I don't know, let me know if you guys have an opinion on that, but either way, I thought this actually looked pretty good. Then moving on to the front, I just continue with the landscaping, trying to make it look similar to the landscaping in the back of the build, and I think it looks really nice. And I just love the colors with the orange and the yellows and the pinks, and I just tried to make this build feel kind of cutesy and colorful, and I think the landscaping added to that. And yeah, I do go into the debug menu to add the car in the driveway, so it is a live edit object car, but it is a base game one because this is, like I said, entirely base game and tiny living. And I think it is really the only debug object that I did use in this build because I didn't want to clutter it up too much, but I will be using the rooms that I shared to the gallery. If you guys haven't seen those, I did do a tutorial about some of my favorite clutter items that you can find in the debug menu. It's not the live edit objects ones, it's just the regular debug. But anyways, I will link it in the description in case you guys haven't seen it, but I will be using those rooms very soon. But anyways, this is, I think, basically it for the build. I'm just adding the final few decorations, and then I do add some plants over here, which I thought looked pretty cute. And I actually really like those other planters that I used that came with an update like a couple of months ago, something like that. I'm not exactly sure. But here I do go through and add a few extra decorations on the exterior and make sure that everything is just how I want it to look. But we are coming up on the screenshot, so I hope you guys have enjoyed this speed build, and let me know your guys' thoughts on Tiny Living. Are you guys enjoying the early access footage, all of that kind of stuff? And if you're excited to buy the pack, or if you're not interested, please let me know. But anyways, here I'm just adding a chess table on the front porch, and then this is it for the build. So thank you so much for watching, and please leave any comments or suggestions that you have, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye!
Here you are, face to face in this trashy bar. Another glass and I am going places.